love reading stories. More in theory than in practice, sadly, but whenever I do pick up a book, I love the feeling of entering a world, be it realistic or fantastical, and joining a character on their journey, wherever it may take them. Call it a vacation without the hassle of having to travel all the way to Mordor. I really like slice of life books, the kinds that give you a glimpse into somebody else's life, be it real or imagined. These books make you think a little bit differently about a person, place, or thing. They make you see the world in a new way through a character's eyes, through the lens of their experience. I think my excitement about these kinds of books is why I get so jazzed about psychology to begin with. I've always been intrigued by the idea of getting into somebody else's head to understand why they do the things that they do. It's like a puzzle. There's no one thing that causes somebody to think or act in a certain way. It's the interaction of so many different factors that are constantly changing that create a person's thoughts, perceptions, and actions. Without just one piece or one experience or one gene, the whole thing might be different. And as a scientist, I find that fascinating. Take this tree, for example. It's my favorite tree in our neighborhood park, and I think it's a weeping willow. It's gnarled and bent and looks like it has faced some hard knocks in life. Maybe it didn't take root in an ideal place and was overshadowed by other trees, forcing it to bend and stretch its branches for the sunlight to survive. It's a resilient little tree. Maybe not the most technically or artistically beautiful or healthy, but it's certainly the most interesting and appealing to me. I love the way it reaches toward the ground, shading anyone who crawls underneath its canopy. It offers solace from the outside world, a place to read, ponder, and daydream for hours. It's a giving little tree. It's unique. I imagine it as a hunched grandmother who's seen her share of struggles. At first you see just cavernous wrinkles and calloused hands, but then when you take a closer look, bright eyes and a smirk of knowing experience emerge. In spite of the hardships this tree has faced in surviving, it has adapted and creates beauty and purpose and meaning for those willing to see it. It thrives and shares its goodness wholly. And no, I'm not just talking about trees anymore. Like this tree, people are constantly shaped and molded by the context that surround them. Their genes, family, friends, schools, neighborhoods, cultures, societies, all of these are interacting and undulating forces that shape and mold thoughts and actions. And our identities are shaped by what we learn from these contexts about love, safety, security, opportunities, traditions, beliefs, and survival. The danger, of course, is treating somebody else's reality as less meaningful than my own. I mean, stories are great, but you get to walk away at the end. And not everybody has the luxury of walking away. And science has a way of sterilizing reality, treating people as objects to be studied rather than real flesh and blood. In fact, we don't have to look very far into our history to find examples of this. And there are times that I have to stifle the scientist's urge to solve the problem and instead become a collaborator to work with people rather than on them. I can't possibly know another person's strengths and weaknesses and experiences in the ways that they do. My own reality and understanding of the world is limited to the connections that my brain cells make, and yours is equally limited. But in expanding my perspective of the world, I'm able to grow in empathy and understanding for other people's realities, no matter how different they are from my own. If I listen intently and humbly to better understand and work with others, I believe I can create more good in the world than it had when I entered it. And at the end of the day, that's a good story. Tell me down below in comments what slice of life books you're really enthusiastic about right now. I read Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo about a year ago for the Nerdfighter Book Club, and I still think about it. I highly recommend it for a glimpse into the real lives of people who live in the slums of Mumbai. But fair warning, it's pretty intense. And as always, please consider liking and sharing and commenting and subscribing and all that other engagement-y stuff. And thanks for watching.